Comes to matters of hard historical fact, everything that the team gleaned during a vigil, during the investigation, we run by one person and one person only, our esteemed academic and historian, the wonderful Leslie Smith. Leslie, let's start with the name Kelly. Edward Kelly. What do we know about him?
Well, he's a fascinating character, and I'm thrilled that we're here so we can talk about him. He was actually born Talbot. His name was Edward Talbot, and he took his grandfather's name later because there was a scandal. He was actually involved in local government, and they were pretty bent then as well. And as a result of some information related to land being passed to someone inappropriately, shall we say, he had his ears chopped off, and consequently cleared off from England, changed his name, landed here, came to the court of the chap I've talked about all the time, Rudolph II, knowing he was likely to be a good client.
And to remind people, this was a Renaissance king who gathered scholars and alchemists and magicians from all over Europe.
But you could say actually that Rudolph was an obsessive alchemist, and at the end went sort of bonkers really. He was determined to find the thing that would turn base metal into gold. But on top of that, the thing that was really appealing to him about Kelly claimed he had the famous Philosopher's Stone, which was in fact the elixir of eternal life, and he gave him a very good pension, and so this charlatan had a lovely time with that, and needless to say lived rather well and was ennobled. I mean, he was actually lifted into that class. And
constantly then, as far as King Rudolph was concerned, looking for this elusive Philosopher's Stone.
Absolutely, he was hugely rich, he had everything he needed, but what he didn't have was eternal life, and this man Kelly claimed he'd got it. John Dee's fascinating as well, one of my top 5 favourite people in history. He was Elizabeth I, one of her most treasured sort of advisors, if you like. He told her what coronation day she should pick and everything. He used to speak to angels through a black mirror. You can still see it in the British Museum. And he travelled as far as here also to see Rudolph, recognising this king wouldn't only just look after them, but allow them to explore their wildest dreams. Renaissance people did things we would think of as wholly inappropriate, including dabbling with the occult and taking it, you know, over the boundaries, if you like.
Of course, at the time, they didn't know what was science and what was the occult and what was, in fact, charlatanism.
There was no science. No. You know, people were sort of looking at the stars. We still believed in the absolute universe. And consequently, this idea of the rhythm and the humours of the body and the universe working in this way, there must be something there that would give them eternal life, that would give them this endless gold.
So it's all going well for Edward here. He's ennobled.
Yeah.
But how come he ends up in this castle? What did he do wrong?
Well, people were starting to get a bit ticked off with him because he was not producing the goods. And so, consequently, on one occasion, he had a punch-up with a chap called George Hunclair. In fact, the Czech pronunciation is rather different from George, but it means the same thing.
That was the name you asked Carl and Yvette to call
exactly.
out for.
So they had a ding-dong together, and they had a duel, and he killed George. And so, consequently, he got shut in here. Doesn't surprise me. This is for political prisoners. This is a nobleman killing another nobleman. But you'll notice that Rudolph didn't chop anything off at that point, just in case he did have that secret. So he was here for 6 years. There was still scandal surrounding him. He was given 2,000 crowns, or gold coins, even when he was prisoner, to still experiment.
To keep the experiments going.
Absolutely.
A fascinating
Isn't
video.
it great?
Lots more still to come from Leslie and from Yvette Fielding and the team. This is Most Haunted live from Prague, with you until midnight. Make sure you join us the other side of this break. Thank you, Leslie. This is Most Haunted Live, our penultimate night from the Czech Republic, and tonight we've based ourselves about 1 hour outside Prague, the capital, of course, in Castle Srivaklad, an amazing edifice dating back hundreds of years, and the vigil with Yvette Fielding and the team has already begun. So let's get straight back to Yvette at the cutting edge of our paranormal investigation. Yvette.
Thanks very much, Paul. Well, we're here. This is extraordinary. Here we go again, Carl. Something for the brave.
Stupid.
Well, you are currently hovering over an oubliette, a place that Edward Kelly was basically thrown when he lost the plot. They didn't want him around anymore, so they threw him down here, and he was left to basically rot in this awful, awful place. Now, you are our wonderful health and safety expert, and his life is in your hands. Just explain how deep a drop this is, John.
It's about 6 metres deep.
Yeah.
And it's got a heavy metal lid.
Okay.
Once we lower him down there using this winch mechanism, we'll close the lid.
Okay. And apparently haunted, Carl, so hopefully some good stuff might happen.
So if I don't die getting down there, I could die of fright when I'm down there.
Brilliant. And you've got your walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie.
I'm going to be doing a Ouija board somewhere else in the building. Once you go down, bring the, they'll bring the harness back up, and I'd like, Chris, I'd like you to go down there too. with Carl, okay? How are you with heights?
Not that good.
Yeah, but you're going to go. I want you to go. I don't care whether you're happy or not going down there. I want you to go down there, okay?
How do you feel, Chris?
Bit scared. No, I don't really fancy that.
Yeah, well, you're going to do it. I want you to do it because I think it'd be good, yeah?
Do it, yeah.
I think it'd be good. All right, so good luck. Lower him down, please.
You happy, John?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember everything I told you?
I remember everything you told me. I'm letting go, yep.
Legs straight.
Legs straight.
Through the hole. And then you can go back into it.
Happy?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Oh my good grief. This is horrible.
The floor's going to be coming up now.
These oubliettes, people were
Okay.
just thrown
I'm on the
down
floor.
here. They were left
Right, down.
to
Stood.
rot. It was awful. How's it feel, Carl?
The atmosphere down here is horrible. I'm just trying to...
Have you got your torch?
I've got my torch.
Okay. Okay, Chris. You want to pass? Are you ready to go?
John? I'm now clear of the seat.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay, well, as Chris gets ready to go and join Carl in the oubliette, me and Stu are now going to go and find the rest of the team while we begin a Ouija board. So do you want to follow me, Stuart? Okay. Good luck, Chris. Okay, you have got a walkie-talkie, but once you're down there, this is going to be put on top, this gate. John, can you also make sure that there's nobody in this area? They're stood outside this door, because if there's any noises, I want it to be that there's nobody up here that's making those noises, please. Right, all right then. Thank you very much. Come on then, Stuart. Okay. Well, hopefully something fabulous is going to happen down in the oubliette. We seem to have already made a connection with this Edward Kelly, who's a fantastic, fantastic character in history. And John Dee, a connection there with John Dee, who was just an incredibly famous person, an astrologer, an astronomer. Back through here, if I can remember how to get there. Was it left? It is left, isn't it? Okay. Karen? Right, we ready? Okay then, Simon, sit down. Kath, sit down. Okay, everybody sit down. Right. Okay, sit down anywhere. Sit. Brilliant. Stewie, I need you to sit down. Okay. Have we got anybody who can take the camera? Right, Mike, you take the camera.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is a nice, good one. This is a good one. Okay, Leslie, also, I just want to make sure that Leslie can hear me. Leslie gave me some information in the break, where she was actually telling me a lot of people have experienced scratching noises in this particular room, which is what you and Carl were hearing. You heard it very faintly, didn't you, Matt, earlier on? Yeah. But people have heard this scratching from that particular wall, and mostly it happens to women when they're on their own.
Which is what's happening when you were out of the room.
What, you just heard it again?
Yeah, Kath was lying on the bed and we were just testing the vibration again and she heard scratching.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, are we ready? Okay. Mike, do you want to just come in a little bit? Matt, do you want to get the boom underneath the table? Sure. Okay, just to... Have we got a ring here? Guy, did we say you had a
Yeah,
ring?
got a ring and red powder.
Okay, do you want to explain about the ring and the red powder, please, Kieran?
Yes, Edward Kelly was an alchemist and believed that he could change a certain sort of red powder into gold. So what we've got here is a little glass of red powder to kind of encourage him, and a gold ring.
Okay. Let's put the gold ring underneath the glass.
Okay.
And there we go. Let's put the red powder here. Okay. Right. Let's just see if we get some energy first. So join hands, feet flat on the ground. Everybody keep very, very still. Don't move, and if you can help it, please try not to move your coats. Take my earpiece out for the moment. So, Guy, I don't have an earpiece in, okay? If Leslie comes through, Guy,
Yeah.
with any information, can you tell me to put the earpiece in? Okay. I'm calling out to the spirit of Edward Kelly. Edward Kelly, John Dee, any spirit that may be here in this place. if you can hear my voice, please come towards us now.